We're rolling.
All right. Hello and welcome to Queens of BravoCon. I am John with my fabulous co-host Lisa. Hi
Hello.
Lisa. How
Hello,
are you?
guys. Good. I'm exhausted.
I know. And
And
it's gonna get more exhausting because we
I
have to talk
know.
about ticketing. I know we've been on Ticket Watch for a while, but we're all and like we're gonna talk about it. But also we're on what I'm calling 10,000 Lakes Watch as you get ready to move to Minnesota. What's going on? What's happening?
Oh man, well, we haven't recorded in a few weeks, so we've had
Yeah.
some of our friends from the Facebook group who've been asking, and I think everybody's getting all excited about it's only 3.5 months away. So I mean,
Yeah.
the countdown's on. Um,
Yeah.
but I just kept pushing it back because you were busy and then I was busy, and it
Busy.
was just like our schedules. Plus, there's really nothing to update. We're just
Yeah.
kind of hanging there. But my life, I actually bought a house in Minnesota.
You
Um,
did
yeah,
already?
yeah. I know it's wild.
Okay, I need details. Is it how many bedrooms is it? Is it big? Is it small? Is it where is it?
So when you're a single woman without children and you're like
Yeah.
looking at property, you're kind of like, wow, there's some big properties in the smaller towns that you
Mhm.
can afford, right? And I was like, God, who's going to take care of these lawns? Not me. Who's going to do the shoveling? Definitely not me.
Not me.
So I
Yeah.
found myself a nice, normal little house, not too small, um, in Rochester, Minnesota. So that's where I'm
Okay.
from. And it's nice, like a first family kind of house. It's
Yeah.
perfect for me. It has enough space. I have a bad knee, so everything's on one floor.
Good.
I have a two-car garage, and I've always been like,
Ooh,
well, I got a little more than I needed, but not too much.
good. Do you
So
have a separate room for your office?
yes, well,
Life
my,
changing.
my mother has already said, well, I'm going to be doing a lot of cooking for you when I come over. So I was like, so now she wants the kitchen and the dining room for her. And I was like, I'll take the bedroom, and my second bedroom will be like an office slash getting ready room. So
That'll be good.
that's all I need. Yeah. And
That's
yeah,
exciting.
so I move at the August 18th.
August 18th. Lisa, that is okay. So today is the 15th. This episode will come out the
Yep.
16th. That's a month
You
away.
know, I'm in hustle
Wow.
mode, like got to set up everything there. Then I got to stuff. I listed my place here for sale, and
Hmm.
it's the market's really changing, so it might sit for a little while,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna just leave it
That's fair.
empty, and that's what I gotta do.
Yeah.
I want to move home, so I'm
Yeah.
not gonna sit here anymore. But yeah, I've got
No, not gonna
all
waste the
the
time.
stuff and plan the move, and my brother's coming to get me.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm do a
I
little road
love
trip.
that. So you will be, I mean, the good news is you will be fully moved long before BravoCon.
Oh yes,
So
and
thankfully
remember,
that won't be an added stress.
I could change my tickets. That was the first thing I checked before
Mhm.
I decided to move.
I love the one of the amazing things that came from COVID is this like no more change fees for so many airline tickets.
Yeah.
It makes traveling so much easier because like you just yeah, I'm going to commit to this, and then if it changes, it's not the end of the freaking world.
Well, I didn't know, so I had to call, and they were like, "Yeah, you can still change it." I was like, "Thank
Oh,
God!" Oh, yeah,
yeah, it's fantastic. I fly Delta all the time now because no change fees.
yeah. Well, I got to buy my brother the same kind of no change ticket because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but that's looking all good. I've been reconnecting with old
Hey,
friends and kind of getting my
God.
in my homesick, feels out of there. Like I'm
Yeah.
just gonna go back and start a new life. But I joined a bunch of Facebook groups for my town, and let me tell you, people are not the same as they were when I lived there. The
No,
whole
I think
world has gone nuts.
there's a whole song about that. They're not the same as they were. What song is that?
Wow.
Oh, it's gonna be in my head forever.
It's like I joined these groups and I'm like, this isn't the same town I grew up in. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to adjust and not be a crabby old lady.
Oh God, I feel
Uh,
like that's the fight of my life now to be a
uh,
crabby old man all the
I
time.
know. So
It
between all that, I've been just sitting here watching the group and ticket watch and going, oh my God, it's gonna happen one day when I'm not expecting it. And me and Susie were on chatting about something on our phones. Next thing you know, we just I think we
blew
actually
up.
were on the phone and we hung up, and next thing I know, red alert. We got the notice.
Ticket Watch is done. I'm excited. I have so many feelings about these tickets.
I
So
know.
I maybe let's just dive in. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Okay.
do you think we should first get up the site, right? And first we're gonna say is we are
Yep.
not affiliated with NBC.
or
and
Bravo or
or Bravo.
BravoCon or any of their affiliated partners.
Nope. And as much as if you're not in the group, you want to join the group, we don't have any information other than what everybody else knows. But John
Yep.
and I are going to just go through the tickets compared to what we know. And, some people are still on the fence between the GA and the VIP. So,
Yeah. Well, so we know nothing behind the scenes, but
no.
Lisa, our guess was pretty good. We 2.5 weeks ago said we think this was going to be the week. And
Yeah.
it was going to be between Tuesday and Thursday, and it was going to be this week, and it happened Thursday.
Yeah.
So I think we were pretty good. I'm
Yeah, we are.
that.
They were right on track with last year too. And I was going through my calendar going, aha, that was it. That was right.
Yep.
But
so, I mean, you already said the biggest difference, and I think we got to start with this is the difference. We got some things right. Nobody saw this difference coming. They went from 3 ticket levels to 2 ticket levels. So SVIP is gone, and now it's just GA, which is the BravoHolic level, and
right.
VIP, which is the future Bravo Lab level, and that's it.
For now, John.
For now,
I like saying there's surprises coming.
Yeah, there always are surprises.
You don't know it's coming.
I don't think that's going to be one of the surprises. I think that Bravo knows
speculation.
Better.
We're good at wild speculation.
We're good at wild speculation.
So here's the thing: is there could be a SVIP upgrade down the road, and then you can upgrade your ticket if you're only, I'm just saying, you never know. Bravo likes to throw these little twists out there.
What? Bravo likes twists?
Never.
That's shocking. Are you kidding me? I've never seen an episode of Bravo TV in my life. I had no idea.
They don't love twists at all.
No. So I do think, though, that it's interesting to me before we get into pricing. So from their website, so we're looking at BravoCon2023.com /tickets. This is where you're going to go. Do not buy your tickets anywhere else. No. It's not worth it. It's not. Somebody keeps saying this week the juice isn't worth the squeeze on it. Like, you go to Vivid Tickets or any of those other resale sites, and the number of people who either get scammed or have issues or didn't get what they paid for, it's 1,000,000% not worth it. Do not do it. Don't waste your time.
Nope.
So this is the site. But what's interesting to me, so it looks like there are 3 things that are going to go on sale on Friday. BravoHolic GA, the 2 3-day tickets.
Yeah.
And then Bravopalooza also has buy now, grayed out, waiting, I think, for Friday, exactly the same way GA and VIP does. And then Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen is coming soon in the future. So I really think in my heart of hearts, this is it. The only additions that I think will come are like 1-day tickets instead of 3-day tickets. But 1-day tickets are going to be really based on availability, right? If tickets sell super, super well, you're not going to see 1-day tickets, especially like VIP level, which will probably sell out. Like, I think this is, well, let's get into it. Let's talk numbers and all that. So BravoHolic, $550, and then taxes and fees. I think that's going to get you up north of $650 once everything's factored in, right?
Yeah, the fees are going to probably be $100.
Yeah, but they are giving us a huge insight into what's happening this year. So access to BravoCon for all 3 days of the event, great. Access to BravoCon programming, shows, and experiences, which sounds like the panels that we've come to know and love from previous years. The Bravo Bazaar, so the Bazaar is back. We love it. Bravo themed and Bravo Lab photo ops. So we were talking earlier about maybe that'll be an upsell. So it sounds like it's not an upsell. It is included that you get into it. There is a VIP upsell, but we'll talk about that in a second. Okay. Access to all food and beverage options. I read this. I'm curious what you think, Lisa. I read access to all food and beverage options as you can get in line and buy food and drink, not as there's food and drink included. You read that the same way, right?
Yeah, you have to buy it.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah. There's a weird way to say it. Well,
it basically means like you don't have to leave the Caesars Forum, in my opinion, to get food and drink.
To get food and drink. Yeah. Option to purchase tickets to add-on experiences, including Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, which I think is really interesting. We'll talk about that in a second, because people on the Facebook group were like, oh, it doesn't say on Watch What Happens Live you need a ticket. But them including that in the ticket tells me you do need a ticket to go buy tickets to Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen.
It's I
And
believe
then they kept, yeah. And then they kept their 18-year age limit, which I think is smart and still the
right.
right move. So that's
This was on when I was in high school. I probably been watching it.
yeah. So
Oh
for
yeah.
650, maybe I'm gonna round hopefully up and call it 700 all in. Like that's
I think that's good with taxes and fees,
good.
probably.
Yeah,
These sites can get away with whatever fees they want, and they all do
I
it.
know. And they all do it. Yeah, and we don't really know. It's hard to predict the fees because we don't know like what ticketing company
Right.
they're going to be using or any of that yet.
Nope.
So I think that's good. But I want to talk about Future Bravo Lab because this is where it's all happening. Because it doesn't. So when I first saw this, my initial reaction was, oh, they got rid of SVIP. Everything's going to be the lower VIP, and it actually feels like a mix of that. So tickets are more expensive. They're $1,200. So when you figure taxes and fees all in, it's probably $1,500 for
Right.
VIP, which is like $500 a day. Gives you access to all 3 days. I like this VIP fast lane at Caesar's Forum entrance. But I will say, like, the only time it felt like there was ever a line was in the morning to get in,
Right.
like first thing. So it's nice, but doesn't feel like super. Preferred seating at BravoCon programming, though, at Caesar's Forum feels really great.
So let's go back to one thing. Let's go back to
Yeah,
the VIP fast lane. So here's what I'm seeing about that is when you get to Caesar, there's the lines. So
yeah,
there's going to be a private line for the VIP people. So the GA can go to one, VIP can go the other.
yep,
And who knows what's going to have more people in line. So if you're going there early, you're going to get in line early. I happen to always go late.
yeah,
And I also went in a back entrance because it was closer to my hotel. No one ever went there. So I was like, it's open. I could just go in. Wasn't the main lines there. So, I mean, that also depends on what area. If there's only one entrance, we don't know yet how many
yeah.
entrances there are.
No,
Yeah.
we don't. So,
Yeah.
so it could be a huge benefit, but I think it's only a benefit in the morning. If you're a 10 o'clocker, like that doesn't do anything for you, right? Like, but it's still a nice thought, and I think that's a big part of what counts. Like when you're paying that much money, yeah.
Exactly.
But in exactly the same way, preferred seating at BravoCon programming at Season Forum. So we remember from 2022 and 2019, they had separate seating sections. I know one of the theaters wasn't a great theater, and so you didn't have great views. But for the vast majority, that VIP section, it was cool, right? Like you got closer to the stage, you had
I didn't go to any of
easier
those
access.
things last time. The panels and none
That's
of
true.
that. So
You're not a panel person.
no, I just did my laps. But
But
no,
something to consider.
so you get preferred seating. So that's a
Yeah,
bonus for it.
the bonus. You get access to VIP exclusive lounges, which is Lisa's thing.
Is my thing. And that's where the schmoozing is. And that's where, in my experience, if you are now, let me just tell you one thing I've noticed about the group, which is really interesting about how people think about the event, is there's some people that love the SVIP lounge and they never wanted to leave it because it was literally a cycle of Bravo Labs all day. They could eat, drink, whatever they want. I think they had only 2 drinks, the limit, but anyway, it was a very dark room, very intimate, very romantic feeling almost, and it was fun. But there's some people in the Facebook group that have said, I just want to go to panels. They just want to do that stuff. So, if that's what you're looking for, that's not a great upsell for you possibly because, the lounge thing is, I like that that's on there, but they might have more of them. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a really interesting point I want to come back to because I feel like there's like 3, I'm generalizing everybody. There's like 3 groups of people of like, I come to do panels, I come to get photos with celebrities, I come to like chat and socialize and like relax and live in the world. And I like those are kind of the 3 buckets I put everyone in. Right. And so let's finish going through the Bravo Love VIP stuff, but we should come back and talk about like which of those groups are going to get which out of what access out of the tickets. It gives you access to Bravo Bazaar, but it doesn't, there's no like VIP access. It's just like just like BravoHolic.
That kind of
VIP
makes
access.
it sound like that's an open area anyway, if everybody has access
Mhm.
to it. So
Yeah, and that's what we've seen in the past, right? That was 2019 and 2022.
right.
VIP access to Bravo themed and Bravo led photo ops. VIP fast lane access to all bars too.
Well, hold on. So
Yep.
okay, so the Bravo themed is on both of them. You just get a VIP line. Okay.
Yep. Well, and so for those who either haven't gone or may not know, like when they say Bravo themed photo ops, there's two. There's the Bravo themed photo ops, which are like in 2019 and 2022, you could like put yourself in the opening of a show. Oh yeah. And like, so they were like very fancy photo ops, but there were no Bravo Lebs there. It was you with the show. And then the Bravo Leb photo ops, of course, is line up, take photos with.
Like what I saw with Barry.
Yeah.
You could sign up on your phone app to go see someone. There was no charge.
Yeah. Yeah. Go. And it would tell you where to go. Yep. Yeah. Fast lane access to all bars. We like that.
It's different than the access to all food and beverage options. So yes. Thinking that they're pumping in a few bars there.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So. Early access for option to purchase tickets to add-on experiences, including Watch What Happens Live. Okay, so that kind of contradicts what I said earlier, that I thought BravoPalooza was going to go on sale at the same time if VIP ticket holders are going to have access to those add-ons first. And we know Watch What Happens Live probably is coming soon. Ticket later.
So I think that would be is when you go to checkout on Friday, you might get some upsell options that are on the next page.
Maybe, but also they haven't released ticket prices for BravoPalooza yet. I don't think that they're going to go on sale with tickets until they tell us what the price is and give us at least a day or two to process it.
Yeah, maybe.
I would be very surprised. That's too much for me, right? I'd be like, oh my God, no, you have to tell me how much in advance. I'm budgeting for this. You have to tell me the number before I decide if I'm going to buy it.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I mean, who knows? I mean, here's the thing is every site wants you to buy something else when you check out.
I know.
No matter what. So you're losing an op.
Yeah.
So they might have that because it says early access for option to purchase early access. Early access means maybe on Friday they're going to have something else for you to buy. Maybe. Or
it might just mean you get an email later. That's still earlier than everybody else, but we'll see. So a good point on that is if you do go with VIP, make sure you put your email address that you actually check all the time. Some people have like, oh yeah, my tickets go to this email address, and they don't check that email address because they just want their tickets and stuff in it. So make sure it goes to an email address you check.
Oh yeah. Always check your junk and spam.
Yep.
For everything in life.
For everything. Priority entry to special add-on experiences with purchase ticket. So
there we go. Priority entry.
And we think BravoPalooza and Watch What Happens, right?
Well, now hold on. It says priority entry to special add-on experiences, which they don't have any listed. Wait, they got two here. So
they have the add-on below,
I think those are going to go on sale on Friday because priority entry to special add-on experience with purchase ticket, or maybe later. Who knows?
Maybe later. We'll see. And then again, you have to be 18 years old or older to attend. So what are you feeling, Lisa? Are you leaning towards VIP?
I have to this year, yeah. I mean, I bought VIP last year, so.
Yeah, I get it. So I think going back to what we were talking about earlier, there's those three groups. And I think it's really interesting to break down because obviously, VIP is about double the price, like roughly, of BravoHolic or general admission, which is, I probably have been comparing everything to SVIP, which was like a very steep step above VIP. So it feels a lot more accessible than I thought, but it's still a lot of money. Like,
what are you getting?
Ticket. I mean, I lean towards VIP.
Yeah.
But so it depends on what you're going for, right? Because if you are the kind of person like Lisa, last year you hung out in the lounges, you did laps, you did the Bravo Bazaar.
Yeah.
You went throughout and like the lounge was great for you. But if that's all you're using that for, I think, people at home should really think about like, is that worth it to me, right? If I'm willing to just kind of walk around and float like a social butterfly and hang out outside and go to the occasional photo op, that could be an opportunity to save some money if you're doing BravoCon on a budget.
Well, just remember that the lounges are not all you can drink all day and eat. And when I said
Mm-mm.
that, I think you had 2 tickets that you got. They might not even have tickets for free drinks this time either.
Right. Well,
It's
because
less of a deal.
it's such a lower price point. I feel
Yeah.
like they won't. Like that's
So
expensive.
I guess what they're going to have is a bar inside there. That's $40 a Cosmo. So,
No, we're in Vegas. It's got to be cheaper.
oh no, no. In fact, those people are probably amping up. It's going to be very expensive in the lounges.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm
So
good.
that's a good point. So then the other people though who
Yeah,
go, if you're going because you're doing photo ops, VIP is 100% the way to go. I
yeah,
know those lines are crazy. If you only have like one photo op, you're willing to get there super early, wait, through 3 other photo ops of people that you're like, no, I'm good. I'm waiting for Gary. It's coming in a minute. Coming
oh
at you.
yeah. Well, those
Then,
three people, the three different types of people, some of those people that wanted pictures, they came in heavy in the group with 140 celebrities that
yeah,
they took pictures of. That was the
yeah,
only goal. So that to them was they didn't do all the other smaller things probably. They were just out to
yeah,
get pictures.
yeah, yeah. So it feels like that VIP though is definitely worth the spend if
Yeah.
that's your focus.
I still think
Um,
we saw a lot of GAs though.
Well, yeah, because like
Yeah.
if you're going mostly for programming, like
Yeah.
the VIP preferred seating is nice. Is
Hmm.
it really worth double the price if 90% of what you want to do is go to these panels?
Right.
I wouldn't spend that, right? It's not like you couldn't see from GA seating. It's the difference between like for a Broadway show being orchestra center and being like in the wings or like on the balcony. And I'm like, no,
Exactly.
put me on the balcony. I'm fine. I may wear glasses, but I've got pretty good eyesight. I'm okay.
Yeah, well,
I
I
can still
had
see.
I sat in the balcony at the Manhattan Center for one of the Watch What Happens Live. I had
Yeah.
just the greatest time is when I was on the floor. Remember I told that story how we got accidentally seated in a really good place. That was just one of those things, but yeah, it was just fine. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And it was totally fine. So I think that the VIP is good. I think that it gives you a lot of value, but I think,
yeah,
decide carefully when purchasing because like VIP gives you a ton of value. And I've seen on the Facebook page over and over and over again, like just go VIP. It's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. And it is worth it,
yeah.
right? Like you and I both are leaning towards VIP, even though it's expensive and going to break the budget for my BravoCon on a budget that we'll dive more into later.
Breaking
But
budgets. But
it's
it's a one-time experience for this year.
yep, yeah. And what's interesting, and I want to throw this out there because there was a thread in the BravoCon group where some people were talking about it being bigger this year and how big it's going to be, and it doesn't. We talked very briefly in one of the earlier episodes. The Caesars Forum isn't bigger than the Javits Center was in
Right.
2023, and like I've been reading all of the press releases and the articles that are coming out really closely. Like Bravo is talking about doing a, really nice event this year and
Yeah.
making sure that it's fresh and fun. But they're not saying it's going to be bigger than anything before. It seems really comparable to 2022. And I say that only to say like, so keep in mind, like from a attendee standpoint, like there weren't,
Right.
tons and tons and tons and tons of people in 2022. It was very busy Friday, but we know Sunday was like
Right.
really easy to get into some of those photo ops and really easy to get into some of those
Right.
panels. So if it's going to be about the same size and you're really only thinking I'm going to be there like maybe Saturday or Sunday, GA may be a good option.
You know what really seemed busy to me that might not be at Caesars was the long hallway at Javits that went from one side to the other.
Yes.
And it was packed, and it
All the
was
time.
sandwich sardine level packed. And that's why
Yeah.
that, and with the panels, people rushing to the panels for the Beverly Hills panel, whatever it was that was so busy. I mean, people thought it was always busy, but for the most part, I didn't think it was too packed. I got around fine, even in my scooter. And during the merch aisle, that did get sometimes packed, depending on the Bravo celebrity who was there at that moment. But I went down many times where I didn't even have
There was
any
nobody
problems get
there.
through. Well, no, it was always busy, but it wasn't like packed. But
Yeah,
there was a time when Austin Kroll, God, I don't know what happened, but the women were just freaking out when he showed up, and he was there for his drop up, and it was just like, what? It's crazy. And you
I'm
could get around.
sorry. I'm sorry. Austin Kroll was there and you don't know what happened? You know exactly what happened. Austin Kroll was there. All the
Oh,
ladies were
exactly.
like,
Well, I mean, it was kind of like you were just there, and like then there wasn't a big group of people, and then one shows up, and everybody just swarms in.
yeah.
So that was the only time, like I remember, I was like I couldn't get through. Austin's fan club was there. I'm a fan too, but I was like, I'm not gonna fight this crowd.
No.
No,
Sometimes you gotta know your limitations.
no. I was like, I'll just scoot the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did see, and I can't find it again. Sorry to change subject,
Oh,
but I
it's
did
okay.
see that Watch What Happens Live is being filmed at the Paris. Did you see that? Am I making this up?
No, I thought it was the Coliseum. I did not. So it's at the
Okay.
Paris.
I thought I saw this, but that and now I got to try and cite my sources because maybe I'm losing my mind because at the Paris Theater. It's on the ticketing page.
Okay.
So it's next door at the Paris Theater, which we don't know anything about yet. We're going to.
Well, I
very
mean,
soon.
the Paris hotel is part of the whole Caesars family, right?
Caesars Entertainment. Yeah. They're all part of the same one.
Oh, well, look at this bad boy. This thing is pretty.
Oh, yeah, the Paris Theater.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I don't know how many people it seats, though.
1,200.
1,200. Okay.
What was Manhattan Center?
I don't know. Let's see if the internet will tell us. Manhattan Center seating chart. I love the internet.
I know.
Oh, that's Hammerstein.
What was Hammerstein, wasn't it?
Hammerstein Ballroom can seat up to 3,400 people.
What?
Can hold up to 3,400 people.
Really?
That's what it says, but it says, unfortunately, we can't provide, and then it's Google, so it's ... And I'm like, can't provide. I feel like they can't have that many seats in there. That seems too big.
There was no way 3,400 people.
No.
No way.
No way. But it does look like...
It says 2,200 capacity on Google, Hammerstein. So...
And we don't...
Maybe.
Well, I feel like Watch What Happens Live. I feel like for Hammerstein, Watch What Happens Live, I mean, it was packed and people loved it, but like, it felt maybe, I would have liked it to be a little more intimate, right? Like if you're going to have this one opportunity to go to the clubhouse, a little smaller, I feel like is better.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, you know what? The Paris looks really like more of an auditorium. Like in the Manhattan Center reminded me of a big theater. So it's got the balconies and all the big tri-levels, where this one's more, stadium seating. So, I mean, you know what? It'll be fine. I mean, it looks perfect for our big meetup. my 18,000 people might be fit there perfectly.
Let's go. But it feels more like an actual theater in a way that like the Manhattan Center didn't, and I feel like it's going to be a more fun experience.
Yeah, well, they got
I like it.
Stage, the Manhattan Center one wasn't tiny, but it was more theater. No. This is more like a stadium seating. This reminds me of
I feel like they can have more glitz and glamour here because it's like an actual theater with an actual backstage area, like wings and all of that, right? So like the surprises can be a little, I don't know. We'll see what they do. It looks beautiful though.
Well, they ain't far, so everybody can walk it, or
Yeah.
Far.
Well, that's the important part. I mean, it's significantly closer to Caesars Forum than the Manhattan Center was to the Javits Center.
Oh yeah.
And you'll be thrilled to know, I know this was what you were asking, and it's really important to you, that it's right next to the Horseshoe / Paris monorail station.
Oh.
I know that was top of your mind, Lisa, and I wanted to assure you it's one stop down from the Harris Link / Caesars Forum stop, but it is right there.
Now, we never did a screen share of your monorail tour, right? I don't
We
think we
didn't,
did.
did
We
we?
could do that in
No.
another show because I
We
know how
should.
giddy you will be to make it. And then we can do all like here's your monorail with your events, and you can make a little chart to show everybody how easy it is. Because again, I might be doing it too. Things are going to be nuts when we get there. There's going to be a lot of
There,
people, a lot of
well,
people there.
a lot of people, and the big news that I think a lot of people became aware of for the first time is the car race thing. That was a terrible way to describe it.
Formula One is going.
The Formula
Yeah.
One is going, and it's like taking over the strip, which is not ideal.
It's
And
only
it's
a week
going,
later though, right?
yeah,
Like,
but like they're going to be doing a ton of load-in stuff,
yeah.
all of that during that time. So like it's going to be crazy.
Well, guess
I
what?
bet.
My people will walk it around everything.
Oh yeah.
No one's going
Oh
to
yeah.
two hoots. But then, the other bad news was the SAG-AFTRA possible.
Right.
Oh man,
Oh,
I'm
but
crossing fingers.
the good news with that is that most of our Bravo talent are not on a SAG-AFTRA contract. In fact, our whole Bravo world is not because of, but significantly helped by the last time SAG-AFTRA went on strike because reality programming got so much more funding because they couldn't film anything else and reality TV could strike. So the fact that there's no writers and no actors is awful. They need to address the core issues that those unions are asking the studios to address. But from a BravoCon standpoint, feels like we're in a good spot.
Right. Yeah, we can cross our fingers. I know things happen.
Yeah. And then I did also want to share, so it's not all doom and gloom. I've been talking back to the monorail. I've been talking about the Sahara, which I'm in love with. There's a bunch of people who haven't booked their hotel yet. It feels like a lot of people are waiting to book your hotel until after you have your tickets, so you know what days you're going. The Sahara is having a sale this week. 20% off their room rates. They're still not super cheap, but they're the cheapest I'm finding in that area, $250, $260 a night. So
that's where John's going to be.
That's where I'm going to be. And I may have my own separate meetup, which is just me and the 3 people that will talk to me in the bar of the Sahara because it looks so fancy. And I can't go by myself. I'm not that human being. I couldn't do it, but it looks so nice. And I want to go up to the bar. So I'm going to see if I can corral anyone to come with me.
And the monorail takes you right there, right?
Yep. Monorail takes you right there. And they've got this beautiful like rooftop pools and like all these fun things. Anyway, I sound like I'm selling the Sahara. We should move on.
It's okay. Well, I'm already so the ticket watch, now that stress is over, everybody's kind of calmed down. The group went wild for the whole day. Then the group kind of calmed down the next day, thank goodness. Because it was just, I think we approved like 50 posts in an hour. We just said, let them all out there. Because, what are we supposed to pick and choose one person to be the winner? We just let them all do it.
Yep.
But
I love that.
Yeah. So the group hasn't gone crazy yet, but we think ticket sale day, the group might get some more activity. So if you're listening, just remember, we appreciate our members. Help us with reporting posts, scammers. I mean, it's going to be a heavy scamming year like it was last year. We really did a good job at the members were finding the scammers and reporting them even the day of BravoCon.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Well, and we have to remember Bravo. We don't speak for anybody. I know Bravo, everybody hates scammers, right? Everybody in live events is doing everything they can to figure out how to get rid of scammers and how to resolve these issues. So if you see it, help it out, find it, report it, share it. That's all. No. Everybody supports you. Be your little vigilante. It's the perfect spot.
We actually do allow people. So here's how it works typically. Is if you buy a ticket and you can't go or need to do something and sell it, you're allowed to do that in this group. But usually we have you post a picture of your receipt. So, I mean, it's kind of a big deal. Yeah. And if you don't have a receipt that shows your name on it that you paid for it, then we don't allow it. But then towards the end, it gets so rushed and crazy that people are just so, desperate for a ticket that they will start going to anybody that slips through a system or something. Next thing you know, they're messaging me, is this person real? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm actually on my way to the event right now. I don't have time to help, unfortunately. So it's, you gotta be really careful.
Yeah.
But our group does allow it, and we have a really good success rate of people buying and trading, especially the Bravo Paloozas, which that's huge. That was a huge swap then when that happened. Yeah. But yeah, the ticket sales, the group should get a little more activity again.
Yeah.
When I'm on a phone call for work, it's just gonna blow up.
Yeah. Sorry, I just discovered something because I'm digging through the Bravo. Well, no, I just discovered the FAQ page, which not enough people look at.
Oh no.
VIP attendees doors are going to open at 9 a.m. General admission attendees doors are going to open at 9:30 a.m. So you get that 30-minute early access, which I'm excited about.
So you get 30 extra minutes to get in.
You get 30 extra minutes to get in. And then everything else looks pretty similar. Like the bag policy is the same. The add-on experiences only list Bravo Palooza and Andy Cohen. Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. So it seems like that's maybe it.
Yeah. You know what? The info page has a lot of stuff on it. Yeah,
it has a ton of stuff. And then
got a lot.
It does. And then the other site I found, I already am eating my words. Remember I said they haven't promised it's going to be bigger. But then, of course, I found the Daily Dish where it says BravoCon returns bigger and better than ever. All right, well, listen. So 150 Bravo celebrities, and they haven't announced all of the individuals yet, but that's big. 60 live events, which is huge. They're saying the cast of all 9 Real Housewives, the Below Deck franchises, Married to Medicine, $1 Million Listing, Southern Charm, Southern Hospitality, Summer House, Vanderpump Rules, and Winter House. Sorry, I wanted to close out the list. One of the things I wanted to point out, though, is so they're using, this is the language Bravo's using. This year, Bravo will double down on its iconic Bravo celebrity interactions, including the Bravo Bazaar shopping experience, intimate VIP talent experiences, which we'll come back to, brand new immersive activations, expanded photo opportunities, and much more. Sounds interesting. Well, and it sounds like maybe not bigger, because like we have to remember square footage is a thing, but it sounds like we're retooling what it is to maybe better utilize that space,
right?
Which I love. I think that's really important.
You know what? So, I mean, honestly, you know, I think that the Javits Center square footage that we had, to me, it had a big spot in the middle where there was nothing, because it was like a horseshoe shape. So it was kind of like everything went around this middle weird thing. So, I mean, maybe because it's going to be 2 monster rooms and they can partition it to all the things, it might seem like a big, huge carnival of different holes everywhere. You're turning here, you're going there, and Wonderland. The Bravo Land. Yeah, I want to post this in the group, this info page. There's a lot of stuff in here that is very, you know, what happens is people will start posting questions and then it's all here in the info page.
Yeah. Well, and most people never go to the FAQ page, but or the info page. That's where all of it is.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I think we hit it all.
Yeah,
I think the moral of today's episode is it's all happening finally.
It is all happening.
We are going to have so much to talk about the next couple of weeks, Lisa.
I know. So John and I have to plan our agenda because we had such a long break that we got to figure out what our shows are going to be. Hopefully we'll stay on once a week track, but never know.
Yep.
But, you know, there's always something to talk about with this.
Especially now. So everybody at home needs to go decide, are they GA? Are they VIP? Are you going to do the add-ons? You know me, I'm obsessed with Bravo Palooza, and I think it's totally worth it. So if they, on Friday, give me the opportunity to buy Bravo Palooza, I'm buying BravoPalooza.
He's
But
buying.
I'll also be stressed out that they didn't tell me how much it was going to cost in advance. So I hope they don't do that.
Well, they also didn't tell you who was going to be at each one.
They didn't. And that's what they did in 2022 too. It's the risk. And once you buy it, they did let people, I heard a couple folks who could move their time around as long as the time wasn't sold out. Because if the time was sold out, it was done.
So you can actually swap the BravoPaloozas. We did it in a group both times, both years.
Yeah, but once they're sold out, you can't, like if 12 o'clock is fully sold out, I can't swap into 12 o'clock is what I'm saying.
Oh, gotcha.
And like if they announce, and they're not going to, but if they announce like somehow like, oh yeah, all of the Real Housewives, every single one's going to be at 12 o'clock, it's going to be sold out.
They will.
In a second and a half.
They're probably going to end up doing what they did last year, which is you buy the BravoPalooza without knowing who you're going to see. Then about a month beforehand, the schedule comes out and it tells you, and then it's when people can swap and say, and honestly, the members all swap with each other pretty good. I don't even remember hearing one story of a person who got screwed from a bad swap, because my group is super fans.
Yeah.
We're good people.
But your group is also 18,000 people now, so everybody should still have your smell detectors on. Is it smelling fishy? Then don't, be careful.
We still have once in a while I find someone who blocks me. Or they don't block me again.
No.
They get one shot at blocking me. It's forever.
Yep. Well, and the last thing I think we should say is maybe I'm wrong about this. I've been wrong before. I wouldn't wait for single day tickets. If you're on the fence about 3-day versus 1-day and you're like, well, maybe, I would commit and jump in. And you can, stick with GA. You don't need to go to VIP if you're on the fence about it. But like, don't wait, because I do feel like, in 2022, they had a ticketing strategy that we saw some tickets come out here and there. It's never the best strategy to do it that way. And I would bet they're going to try and avoid it. Like, again, we don't know anything. I'm just guessing. There is going to be a 1-day ticket release, but if 3-day tickets sell really, really well, there may not be a ton of 1-day tickets. Yeah. Why would they? They don't need it. They're not going to do it. So, and especially if now that there's only one level of VIP, I don't know that there's going to be 1-day VIP. Like, there was no 1-day SVIP. It was only 3-day SVIP. Right. They did have some 1-day of the middle tier. I don't know that they're going to have that now that SVIP and VIP is the same. So if you want a VIP, it may be 3 days or nothing.
I'm seeing people, though, saying they're going to come for 1 day still. So we'll have them cross their fingers. At this point, we don't know what's going on, but we
don't know.
Just giving hope for the whole thing. So Ticket Watch is over.
Ticket Watch is, well, I mean, we're going to have many Ticket Watches now, because 1-day Ticket Watch will start as soon as these tickets go on sale.
I know it's going to be sales, and then we have BravoPalooza, and then anything else that creeps along. And there's going to be something every few weeks that pops up that we all have to do.
Yep. It's going to be good. And we'll be here with you through all of it.
That's right. Alrighty. I don't have my notes to close the show. So just if you want to send us an email, you can go to, Queens of BravoCon at gmail.com. You can go to the Facebook group, just search BravoCon. We are the only BravoCon group out there. And
the best, coincidentally.
And the BravoCommunity.org is our website where you can register. We are, now that Ticket Watch is over, I can start planning some meetup stuff and getting all that going.
Which will be good.
Available to people who get on my email list.
Yes.
At 18,000 plus members, I can never control a mob like that at a meetup now. It's crazy.
It's insane. I love it, though.
Oh,
everybody's here.
Is grown up. What's a big baby?
I love it. And before we close, we had a really great tip that came in that we wanted to share with everyone via the email that I got, that I flagged for a hotel off the Strip. Hold on, I have to pull it up.
Okay.
You know what? No. Join us next time. We're going to give you that hotel tip on our next episode. Did it. And if you have any questions, want to chat with us, send us anything. Send us anything. Send us an email at queens of BravoCon, like Lisa said.
We'll read it next time.
All right, bye.
See you guys.